Opa.
Just one Give me one moment. Hello, my friends. This is Lada from AstroLada.com, and today my friend Trifon Nikolov of Vedic Sidereal Astrology is here to lead us through the month of May. Like you can see from the name of the video, this Jupiter, this important month in sidereal astrology, both Jupiter and the North Node, the dragon, are changing signs in May. So this will be some interesting forecasts that I'm looking forward from Trifon. Hello, Trifon. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm feeling a little better now, knowing that Mercury soon will change his difficult position.
It's moving into sidereal, out of sidereal Pisces. So this
Yes,
hazy fog, confusion.
yeah, the last I don't know, more than a month, causing a lot of difficulties in communication and all kind of connections. So people were having a lot of troubles, of course, everyone.
We even kind of made a mistake last weekend. We forgot something we had to do.
There
But
was
I can announce
a
it
big
again.
mistake, yes.
Yes, but by the way, this is good because more people can come. We're doing the webinar on professional indications in the horoscope using ancient sidereal astrology and Babylonian astrology with the best working techniques. Tripon will share with us using both ancient Western and modern Western and sidereal astrology. He gathers always the best techniques and shares them from his practice. And he's one of the most practicing astrologer I know. He sees 7 to 8 people per day, which is incredible experience. So if you'd like to join us, there is a very good discount for this course, only $100. It's 2 days, next Saturday and Sunday. It's live, 5 hours for the 2 days. It doesn't gonna take much of your time, or you can watch the recording and own it after that. But yeah, it will be good because you'll be able to interact with Trifon, to ask personal questions, and learn from the master. So I'm excited about that.
And to learn some things that you can say are like secrets today, because no one is giving attention, but they're extremely important.
Good. I can't
Yeah.
wait. And by the way, Tripon is also offering for any of our viewers, with the link below in the description, $80 off a private reading with him for 1 hour instead of $250, only $170 just for the next 2 weeks, using sidereal, that is the actual constellations astrology. And now, thank you so much for those 2 generous offers for our viewers. And I'm looking forward to hear what May holds for us. We're a little bit into May already, but another 26 days left.
Let's go then. We have to brace for big changes this month, astrologically speaking. Of course, we see the changes are happening now very fast all the time, but from the astrological perspective, we have 2 major things changing this month, and these are the positions of Jupiter and the nodes, the so-called dragon. Both will change signs, which is fundamental change, which happens for Jupiter only once a year, and for the node once in 18 months. So I will begin from there. Of course, let's talk about Jupiter first. So Jupiter changing signs indicates that all those people who are ruled by Jupiter, basically this means who have sidereal signs Pisces or Sagittarius as ascendant. In Western astrology, remember, most of those people will be considered Aries rising or Capricorn. But in reality, they have the stars of Sagittarius or Pisces rising. So those people will feel big change in their lives, in their energy. As each year, they have some change when Jupiter changes signs. So for them, Jupiter will change houses as for anyone else. every one of us will feel how the beneficial strength of Jupiter is disappearing from one place and appearing in some other place in one's life. These are the houses, areas of life. But what it means, Jupiter will change signs from Taurus to Gemini. Now we remember when Jupiter is in Taurus, the ancients were saying that the treasury of the kingdom will be emptied, and we already saw this going on everywhere almost. Right? Basically, such things and changes happened that a lot of treasuries got emptied, and they continue to be so, I think. And this position of Jupiter is until 18th of May, Jupiter in Taurus, when Jupiter will change the sign into Gemini. Interesting and great transition. So Jupiter in Gemini is not considered to be in his good sign. He's considered to be basically opposing his own sign Sagittarius, kind of debilitation for him. So in this way, Jupiter actually becomes weaker, even more than previously, like being in Taurus, also not in great situation, but in Gemini, even more. However, for trade, for things like trade and the markets, Jupiter in Gemini, I think, and I believe, should be beneficial actually, because this is the very sign of trade and communication. So Jupiter, at least in Gemini, should be benefactor for trade and traveling overall for the world. Also, Gemini is the sign of humanity. It's one of the signs with human figures. So basically, I will say that as a whole, for humanity, Jupiter to be in Gemini is a good thing. Humanity will progress, will give more attention to the meanings of Jupiter, like honesty, ethics, and morality and higher truths. So this will be actually a period of development. And the ancients are also saying some good things about Jupiter and Gemini. So let's delve there. Basically, what they say, when Jupiter is in Gemini, it indicates healthiness and strength. Healthiness and strength, and of course, this is for the entire humanity. So, actually, good news.
Because it's a human sign, so.
Yes, healthiness and strength. Yeah, so it's good for the humankind, basically. So then we can hope that in general nations and people will be in better health. So this is a kind of good position for improving one's health. Basically, Gemini is much related to mobility. And the bodies indicated by Gemini are always in good shape. So I can say Jupiter will promote a lot of traveling, a lot of movement, a lot of sport, like especially like athletics and everywhere where we have to run or walk more.
Track and field, tennis, where it's also by pairs, because Gemini is the twins and using the hands. And
yes, true. Jupiter, however, is also the planet of the legs. So basically, it's a good time to start some new sport activity, I guess, after 18th May, some moment. Jupiter will be entire year in Gemini. So great. The ancients are saying so many good things about that. Even only this, and we can finish the video, right?
yes. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
No more.
So now, America is expecting all those trade deals. You think they're gonna happen? That Jupiter enters Gemini?
That's interesting. Basically, Jupiter is in Gemini in the horoscope of America. So there will be a kind of return of Jupiter to America in this 1 year ahead. And Gemini signifies the second house for USA. So, well, I can say there will be a lot of work on the financial situation, but for Ascendant Taurus of USA horoscope, Jupiter is also the ruler of the 8th house. So there will be strive for dealing with the debt of the country. So there will be financial expansion and gain, but all will be thrown into the into the trap of the great debt there. This is what I think it will be going on. So there will be definitely
even with the regular chart, like the one that they give officially, where it's a Scorpio sidereal rising or Sagittarius tropical, Jupiter return will be in the 8th house, which is taxes and debt. And so even from that traditional
from any
chart,
point of view, yes, if you use whatever chart, it will be having this logic, yes. Here, however, the 8th house lord in the 2nd house, definitely this is related to taxes, this is related to debt. So the influence on finances is of the country is doubtful, actually, definitely. The focus can be on the taxes and debt, but not always in a good way because Jupiter is the big day. What the true influence of Jupiter regarding finances of the country will be that it will reveal the truth about the finances and will raise the big questions about how to proceed. It will show the truth in an undeniable ways, and thus creating crisis and forcing reaction in the right direction. So this is how I see it. Well, basically, this position of Jupiter is kind of indicating the great depth that is happening. This is a NATO position. But let's remind also USA has in Gemini has also the Sun and Venus. It has supporting factors. So basically, I see crisis and then a start of resolution in the next 12 months. This is how I see it. And so Jupiter, significant of healthiness and strength in this period. Also, the ancients are saying that there will be dry summer and burning heat.
Again.
So it is coming. Well, Saturn is making some bad aspect to Jupiter, so maybe it will give some limitation to that, but still the ancients are saying it. So let's just brace for another hot summer. So there is also something that will happen on the 9th of June. After a month, Jupiter will be disappearing. So now, right now, the good indications of Jupiter will be delayed for some time. I believe his good indications will be shown mostly after, depending on the place where you live and the latitude, etc. Summer starting slowly around 8th of July to 12th of July, it will be shown everywhere. This is when Jupiter will be rising, which, by the way, is another indication for the horoscope of USA, as the birthday of USA is 4th of July. And Jupiter will be rising around this date, which the ancients are saying is important. However, he is rising in debilitation. In my experience, this is not okay. Not okay. It can indicate in the next 12 months a kind of big loss that is about to happen. Just saying. What is this loss about? We can think more in some of the next videos. But it's an indication of troubles. Otherwise, usually Jupiter when rising around any birthday is considered a good omen, but when he is rising in bad condition, I have explored the topic, it's becoming the opposite. Well, let's say Jupiter is related to all those things that we already said, taxes, debt, etc. However, Jupiter signifies also, let's say, things like children, life, birth rate, wealth, growth in anything. Jupiter corresponds to growth, while Saturn indicates limitations, right? And so, interesting time. However, there is also this meaning when Jupiter will be disappearing this month, around the 9th of June, but in some places It will disappear a little earlier, 5th, 6th of June, if you are like living more northern latitudes. So people ruled by Jupiter will be not feeling great in June, and even from the end of May because of this. And many of them even from the 18th of May, when Jupiter goes into debilitation. However, this is only temporary until the rising of Jupiter in July for about 40 days. Okay, so it's a kind of transitional, transformational period.
I really started watching Saturn, Jupiter appearing, disappearing on the other planets, because I'm a Saturn ascendant. So I noticed that when Saturn disappears for a couple of months every year, different times, like your immune system goes a bit low. It's you're more susceptible to get a cold, to want to sleep more, to be. It doesn't mean you're totally unproductive. Life still goes on, but usually it's a bit more on the down low. And then Saturn just arose a few days ago, and I've been feeling so much better as the ruler of my ascendant, coming out. So that's truly works in a subtle but noticeable way.
It's extremely important, actually, the visibility of a planet, and this logic applies to any planet ruling any ascendant or place in the chart, in any cycle that can be used. So it's very important, and actually happens, however, on yearly basis. So people have this every year, so don't worry too much. Just rest more, maybe, for the people who are ruled by Jupiter, I mean. However, the ancients are saying when Jupiter disappears in Gemini, as it will be the case in the beginning of June, they say that this will mean the following. They say that the king will outweigh his enemies. Very interesting expression. Now we have exactly a situation when someone who behaves like a king is saying that he is a king, jokingly or not, is trying to outweigh in different trade and tariff-related maneuvers his opponents. Interesting. So potentially this is a sign for this, that USA can be somehow more winning in this trade war. However, it's a little philosophical because after all, the king is supposed to be someone who is having totalitarian control, full control, right?
Well,
so
they
then
didn't have
if
presidents back then. They didn't have democratic governments. It was the ruler, I guess.
yeah, but I have seen in the past when they talk about the king that it happens to such people. But yes, it's maybe it's possible to be also for any like ruler of like having great power, right? So, and having in mind that this will happen in a sign related to USA, so we can choose this meaning. Having in mind that also that who began this process again leads to this conclusion. Let's just say in all these negotiations, in all these trade wars, then USA is about to have the upper hand in the beginning of June, around 6th to 9th of June. This is expected, especially more so that is the sign of trade, after all.
What about Gemini, the twins? These are brothers. Ukraine and Russia are brother nations. They're neighbors. Gemini's neighbors. Jupiter there. Can we hope for a positive?
Well, Jupiter is in the sign of humans, right? Will be in the sign of humans, and this is also sign of Mercury, sign of negotiations. Promotes better understanding. However, Jupiter makes it by showing the truth, the exact truth of things. He rejects lies, rejects any attempts at deception. So if there are deceptions and lies, as we see that there are a lot, first Jupiter will make everyone to go through the process of accepting the truth from including from moral point of view and as a base for any understanding and negotiation later. Otherwise, if people are not willing to, or nations not willing to act according to ethics, Jupiter will just expose them as being so in a very rude and obvious way, showing to everyone what is going on. So there can be a scandal, like a political scandal based on right or wrong action. So this is what I think Jupiter. However, this will still mean that there will be progress in negotiations and better chances for achieving political contracts, potentially even peace. So it is in the end a good thing, but not so simple. And so this is how it looks for Jupiter. Many things can be said about Jupiter for each ascendant. Maybe we'll make a video for this potentially. However, let's now go to the next topics because each planet is important. So I mentioned in the beginning, also the nodes are about to change signs. Last time when they changed signs, immediately great disasters struck the countries indicated by the sign where the North Node entered.
Can you remind us?
Yes, so the North Node and the South Node were changing signs, and the North Node entered Pisces like 18 months ago. It was September, I think, and immediately a great water-related disaster struck a country in North Africa. I think it was Algeria. Hundreds of people, entire city, were literally destroyed by a flood, and related with an earthquake, I think, before that. Pisces is, according to the ancients, symbolizing Northern Africa. Those parts of Northern Africa which are like Northwest Africa, actually. So now we'll have another change. Now we will have the North Node changing from Pisces to the previous sign. You know, the nodes are moving backwards. So the North Node will enter Aquarius. And of course, this will be not so great.
Tell us more.
Well, I mean for the countries indicated.
The Aquarian country.
So who are the Aquarian countries and when this is happening? The day will be the same. This is the same day when Jupiter changes sign. 18th of May, Jupiter goes from Taurus to Gemini and the North Node from Pisces to Aquarius. As you can see, 18th of May is a kind of unstable day of changes. So watch out. Right, everyone can feel the difference. On the exact same day, each one of us can have important events. Because any important factor like a planet or the nodes changing houses, because this is what will be happening. When they change sign, according to the ancient understanding, they change also the house in this very moment. And immediately, I mean the same day, we can feel great effects. And so for everyone, changes are coming 18th of May. And the North Node goes into Aquarius. Which are the countries symbolized by Aquarius? There was even a Saturn-Mars conjunction in Aquarius not so long ago, in the spring, I think, and the last spring, not this one, a year ago. And there was a big flood in Arabian countries, I think in Dubai and other places in Arabian countries. And then I mentioned that this can happen in Arabian countries at the time. And now having in mind that this reminded me that the ancients are mentioning Arabia, they say, some of the ancient authors, right? Not everyone, are saying Arabia is under Aquarius. A couple of days ago, someone asked me, what is the sign of Dubai? I remembered this events and I answered probably Aquarius. And having in mind all the modern progress that's happening there, this definitely feels like Aquarius there, right? So, okay, so Dubai, be careful, Dubai, 18th of May. The times are changing. There can be trouble going on in Dubai, some sort. Confusion, great desires, criminal activity, and maybe even natural disasters. The notes are, if I have to relate them to something, obviously the element of Aquarius is the air, so there can be a storm, for example, but maybe even something else. So, however, Aquarius is not only Arabian countries and Dubai, right? Aquarius, for example, is the sign of Brazil. The sun of Brazil is in Aquarius, modern Republic of Brazil. So we can say also floods, landslides, or poisonous chemical reactions or accidents, because the North Node is considered to be related to poisons, according to Vedic astrologers, for example. So we can say poisoning of the air, bad air, or chemicals in the air, or different kinds of disasters striking. 18th of May, for Brazil also. So, however, there are also other countries related to Aquarius. In my mind, when I was thinking about which country is what, I started to think in one moment that the Scandinavian countries are much related to Aquarius. So add them to the list of these warnings. I see that there is an increased criminal activity going on there this time, like in Denmark and Sweden. And the North Node symbolizes desires, and it can be related to criminal activity, because when someone follows his desires without a moral code, the North Node can signify. The North Node signifies strength of desires. And especially those desires who can create new karma for future life or incarnations, and leading to big moral mistakes. The North Node, according to the ancients, is of the nature of Saturn. So, and it is entering sign of Saturn, Aquarius, in this period. And there is one country still not mentioned, but very important. According to the ancients, Scythia, Skytia maybe in English, I'm not sure how it is pronounced in English, this ancient name. So it is Aquarius, ruled by Aquarius. And basically this is the territory of what is today Ukraine, the lands to the north of the Caucasus Mountains, and South Russia, and even parts of Poland, Lithuania, Estonia. All this is Scythia. We can, some were extending it even to Central Asia, all these fields there where the horses were able to travel without a problem. So all these lands will be afflicted. And in the case of Ukraine, we can say maybe danger of strikes with weapons that are not allowed, poisons, or additional things that are not allowed and that are not, because the North Node, it's a kind of, it can be very mean. And so it's a sign of trouble actually there. However, the North Node is considered also to be giving in one moment certain developments, which can prove to be positive in the long term. So even though the beginning of the transit of the North Node is difficult and traumatizing, even in the long run, it can bring to much progress in those same areas. Sure. Much progress, especially if the moral code, ethics principles are being followed. Otherwise, it will indicate just going deeper and deeper into wrong kinds of activities. So it's a kind of a warning as well. So what else is happening? At the same time, when the North Node goes into Aquarius, the South Node will go in Leo. By the way, let's mention also what means the North Node in Aquarius. I think it means that there will be attacks against freedom, when the North Node is in Aquarius. But this will also arouse great desire for freedom in nation at the same time. And this will become a very psychological issue, much more than before. Now, the South Node at the same time enters from Virgo into Leo. So there are two things. First, the South Node still in Virgo for the last 18 months. Let's think on the base meanings of Virgo. Virgo represents the common worker class, people who are working. Also, its sign of Mercury thus related to trade. The South Node also represents losses, probably of karmic kind. Now, however, that the South Node will move from the sign of work and trade, I believe this will be good for the market and for in general for jobs and trade overall for the world. I believe this is a good thing. I believe this will indicate less troubles and less losses for the common people. Right. Going into Leo moves the losing end and gives karma and losses for the people who Leo represents. These are the rulers, the ruling class. So kings and queens, so to say, governors, presidents, etc., those who are powerful are about to feel the karma that the South Node symbolizes in Leo. 18th of May, we can see some of those people going down in different ways, having losses. So this process begins. So this is very evident for the sign of Leo that it signifies such things. The South Node there brings karmic punishment, it is said. Also, different other kinds of endings. And so, in Leo, however, it can affect the people who are related to art, especially to movie makers, for example, theaters. And the South Node there can indicate some kind of losses in this industry. However, remember, this is a cyclical thing, 18 years, each 18 years it happens. So it happens a lot of times already. Well, I think this is enough for now for the notes. Of course, also depending in which house it will move for every one of us, it will depend where we have more attention for the North Node and what we are doing there in this area of this house. And for the South Node indicates where we have to accept some changes that are not controllable. In any way, the South Node is like that. So, there are many other things going on. For example, today Pluto becomes retrograde. Retrograde Pluto. For me, this means there is, of course, some retrospection in the government circles about how to rule and what to do. So to do some unfinished business, to restructure. In the case of USA, it means that Pluto is going back to the star of USA slowly. This will happen, however, again in August when Pluto goes there. For everyone else, Pluto retrograde, especially those who have Scorpio rising in Sidereal or Sagittarius in Tropical, it can indicate going back to unfinished business and psychological work. Of course, these days when Pluto is turning are a little bit more dangerous. in the next days. Also today, and also in the next couple of days, Uranus is with the star Algol, thus prompting danger for air travel. As we know, Algol is related to accidents and mortality, and Uranus is the planet of flying. So exactly these days now are not good. For this, let's hope there will be nothing really bad, but it's more possible than other times. What else? Mars is in a difficult position. Long time already. Since the middle of January and until the 9th of June, he is still in Cancer, sign where Mars is weak. However, next month it will improve, which is good for anyone having Scorpio or Aries rising in Sidereal, Sagittarius and Taurus in tropical signs. However, right now Mars is moving into the middle of the sign of Cancer. And there is a place that is called the Manger, or the Beehive. A cluster of thousands of stars that look like a nebula. And the ancients are saying that when Mars is there, this is not good for eyesight. So I'll just give you this advice. Take care now, better of your eyes and eyesight, and probably it's better to postpone eye-related surgeries. This condition of Mars is until 20th of May. So basically the next 2 weeks. It's like that. Okay. After this warning, let's move to other positions. I mentioned in the beginning that I'm waiting for Mercury to change signs. When this will happen? On the 7th of May, Mercury goes out of Pisces sign where he is not feeling very well. And of course, this will improve all levels of communication. It is good also for trade when Mercury goes into Aries. However, on the 7th of May, Mercury entering sign of Mars is not good for traveling on this very day, just in case. However, overall, this indicates a more dynamic, active, and even positive mindset people. And especially for those who are ruled by Mercury, like having Gemini or Virgo rising in sidereal signs, or Cancer and Libra in the other system. And so, Mercury in Aries, it is a very fast Mercury now, very fast. This is like opposed to his situations when he's retrograde. Now, Mercury being very fast means it's very strong, very active, makes things well. So we will see a lot of progress in things like negotiations, trade, transportation in this period. Mercury will be in Aries between 7th of May and 23rd of May. You will go through the entire sign, basically in 16 days. This is how fast. On the 21st of April, Mercury will reach his maximum distance from the Sun. Important astronomical and astrological event. And the ancients are saying that this means that someone who is in high position and prominent man, and they say he will die. Yeah, Mercury can indicate intellectual figure, someone who is dealing with trade or having intellectual achievements, kind of leadership, because it's Aries. Aries is the sign of leadership. And that's why I think are the explanations of these observations of the ancients. And we expect this to happen one more time. It will be kind of recognition also for this person. However, later Mercury makes additional movements between 19th and 23rd of May, along with everything else. He will be making appearances, risings and settings in different parts of the world, like becoming invisible if you live very much to the south, like Georgia, Florida, corresponding latitudes, Mexico, North Africa, etc. This is when he disappears. For others, however, it will be rising, those who are to the north. This is because of the very complex situation between Mercury and the Sun, this period. And so, what is said about that? One of the meanings is that there will be glory to the people and to the army. That's an interesting statement. Glory to the people and the army. So we will observe where this will happen. Well, this can be related to Gemini-related countries or Virgo-related countries, those who are ruled by Mercury, or Aries-related. So there is a long list here. Aries can be related to Western Europe overall, even to the USA as a country that comes essentially from there. And this is the first thought. Also, places like Greece, Armenia are ruled by Mercury. Some are saying Egypt. And in the new horoscope, the Republic of Israel is having Mercury ruled ascendant. So maybe for some of these countries, it can be also for others, I guess. So this is the meaning: glory and brightness to the people and to the army. 19th to 23rd of May is when this is happening. Later, Mercury is also very interesting. Later, he will be, of course, after 23rd of May, he will be in Taurus. And let's say when he makes a conjunction with the Sun. Basically, 30th of May. This is a good time for traveling when Mercury is with the Sun. So people can use it. And then after some additional movements in the beginning of May, he will be rising once more in the northern latitudes. And the ancients are saying that this will be good for all types of things. It will give all types of good things, the ancients are saying. So let's just say that probably end of May, the last days of May, especially starting with the 29th till like 5th, 6th, are days that are especially promising and good, mostly. Not everything, but for traveling, for example, these are probably the best days. Also, I believe that the transit of Jupiter from Taurus to Gemini will change the financial situation of the world and will bring more wisdom as well. I believe this is related with his crossing in those degrees. He's touching some of the stars of Orion, which are related to such meanings. Now, as you see, also let's mention when Mercury is with Algol, 24th of May. Don't travel. Mercury with Algol, danger for travel. 25th of May, Mercury with Uranus, again, not so great time for traveling. So 24th and 25th are not good. Then the moon will be the so-called black moon between 26th and 28th of May. So basically starting with 24th till 28th of May, conditions of the planets are not good for traveling, at least. 26 to 28, when the moon is invisible, indicates that these are good days for meditation and rest, but not for new beginnings. And then, however, starting with late evening on the 28th of May and throughout the 29th of May, there is a positive force becoming very strong. This will be Venus. Venus will stay in her degree of exaltation. Well, if there will be any success in negotiations, peace, harmonizing the world, I believe this is when Venus reaches this strongest position. It's also extremely good for anything related to Venus, like art or love. Of course, exalted, beautiful women will be more successful in that time. Anyone who is ruled by Venus will feel better. These are people with rising Taurus or Libra in sidereal signs, but Gemini and Scorpio in tropical Western astrology used astrology signs. So enjoy the exaltation of Venus on the 28th, especially 29th May. It can give great good time, and it's good for love and good for art. It is very promising for such activities. So I guess I can say it's the day of love, 29th, 28th, against 29th and 29th of May. Then the 30th of May, Sun and Mercury conjunction is not only good for traveling, but overall indicates greater understanding, more light and warmth to the mind of people. 30th of May. After that, 1st of June, the moon is with Mars. So this is one exception. Don't travel on the 1st of June when the moon is with Mars. On the same day, the exaltation of Venus will finish. 1st of June. Venus will enter Aries, where Venus is not feeling good. So have this in mind, everyone who is ruled by Venus. The good period finishes very soon after that. Then there will be change soon enough. That will be positive, but later in June. So in this way, I can say these are probably the most important things for the month. As you can see, a lot of changes as always. It's different for everyone depending which planet is ruling you. It can be worse or better. The most important, I guess the most important is that the meaning of Jupiter entering in the sign of humanity is overall good sign for the future developments for the entire world. Basically, Jupiter entering sign of people will bring more temperance, which is one of his main meanings, and more ethics and honesty and positivity.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love when you rarely bring us good news, but May sounds
Oh, and
very
I forgot one bad news. Okay, let me give it. Let me give it. Let's not forget it. Let's not forget it. So, sorry to say, but we didn't mention Saturn. So, this time, this will be a kind of finish that is maybe not, you may not feel it is very positive, but it's a kind of warning what to do. So, what I mean, Saturn is approaching the brightest star of the constellation Pegasus, which is called Shat. Saturn will make 3 times in the next 12 months this conjunction, so it's a kind of beginning. First of all, Shat and Pegasus, it symbolizes that this is the heavenly horse, the winged heavenly horse from the legends. Very well-known symbol from movies and books, legends. And so, however, the literal meaning, of course, is not good for horses and horse trainers. So, well, be careful with those animals in certain period. When exactly is the exact conjunction? I can say between 19th and 21st of May, the exact conjunction being on the 20th of May. So of course, this is the heavenly horse. It has wings. I guess it's not good also for flying, right? It's not good for flying. So this is first some big warnings. However, let's say also there can be great issues and scandals related to the secret services. And it will be difficult time for certain military types of activity of this sort. This is one thing, and you probably not see it on the news, but I'm just thinking in this direction. Otherwise, also, when Saturn is with this star being projected in the sidereal sign of Pisces, even though from another constellation, the exact position is 4 degrees Pisces and 35 minutes with the specific calculations that I'm using. So when Saturn is there, he will activate also the meanings of Pisces in a more painful way. So we can expect greater pain and crisis for society, sociological, political crisis of sort. People will be reminded that the condition of society is very important and it has to be preserved, and that they have to fight for the good condition of society. And this will be reminded probably through some really negative consequences happening around the same days, 19th to 21st of May. Because in more contemporary astrologers' writings, and what they write was true, actually, Shat is the star of suicide, and also I can say star of great tragedy. So it is possible that certain countries are hit by great tragedies between 19th and 21st of May, especially on the 20th. There can be like big disasters of what kind. It may be natural, but it can be also human-made, like people who can burn in a nightclub, for example. Or, however, of course, Pisces suggests there can be something else, like from water, or Saturn can indicate the Earth. So watch out. But most of all, Saturn in this way indicates difficult time for a certain group or nation. And also on personal level, that people who have psychological problems can go very deep and down into their problems. So much greater probability of tragic development. So if you know people who have problems, give them attention. Potential to save them, because Saturn can indicate also security, providing the necessary security. This will be the good side, using the Saturn energy in a good way. If Saturn surely will give such type of consequences as I mentioned in this period, I guess especially for those who are ruled by Saturn, this can be more true than for others to see this around them. Those who have Capricorn and Aquarius rising. This is in sidereal, in tropical signs, Aquarius and Pisces. However, the good thing for you is that you may be giving the opportunity to help someone in a great way, saving basically even his life or sanity. So It's really important to be attentive between 19th of May to 21st of May, especially on the 20th. In this way, let's just say that Saturn will remind us the great need of humility and compassion, and that we need to help each other in a big way, even to people who we don't know. There will be great reminders about that. So better be having the right mindset already about that. Countries who are ruled by Saturn or are related to Pisces, well, already you know, Northwest Africa. Pisces, however, can be related also to other places like Portugal. Pisces can be related to all the sea neighboring, ocean neighboring regions of the world, because it's a sign of the ocean. Yeah. So actually many places are related in the end. So let me think if there is some other country that I miss about Pisces. Yeah, India is mentioned as being Pisces related. India. There is a lot of logic to that. India is considered to be a very spiritual place, in a way. At least some parts of it. Definitely spirituality is part of the 12th house and Pisces meanings. So yes, India then. And Saturn rules also signs related to Capricorn and Aquarius, and here we can say most of the Balkans, we can say Ukraine, we can say all the rest of the Aquarius countries like Arabia, Scandinavia, maybe even USA, in essence,
mountainous regions, yeah.
Also mountainous regions. USA I mentioned because of the essence of the country is definitely related to the meanings of the sign. So all those places can correlate to this condition of Saturn that is about to happen. Remember, it will be the first time, so this will be 3 steps of working on the meanings of the star. Next steps will be in the fall and the winter. Now it begins, however.
It will be curious to check next time Saturn is back on the star what happened 29 years ago around that time.
Always, because Pisces is the 12th house of the zodiac, always it invites, when Saturn is in these positions, always it invites to realize the nature of suffering and oppression and the need of consolidating society against oppressing forces. So through realization, it leads to struggle in order to uplift society to a better condition. In short, this is my opinion.
Thank you, Trifon, so much. This video is important. I would ask people even to bookmark it because Jupiter will be in Sidereal Gemini for a whole year ahead. You can come back to this video to watch it. The North Node will be Rahu, the dragon, as we call it, in Sidereal Aquarius for the next 18 months. So you have this reference here. But the offer of Trifon for $80 off his personal 1-hour reading with him is valid only for the next 2 weeks. So if you'd like to have a consultation with Trifon, or if you'd like to join us for the course, How to Find Profession in Your Horoscope, it's just 1 weekend, next Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and the 12th or something like that. No, 10th and 11th, isn't it?
Yes.
10th and 11th.
Secrets of professional development, career, essence of your talents, what you can really express in the material world, because you can have talents that are on inner level, that you feel them, but not ready to be expressed. However, what will really work for you? Have achievements. This is what we'll be discussing.
Inside my heart, I'm venture capitalist, but externally, I'm an astrologer. I'm kidding. I mean, something like that. Someone might be like, okay.
If you say so. Okay.
Of course, no. Maybe, who knows? But you know, some people like they have great talent in singing, but they don't express it through career. Or
Exactly. And the planets can be in central positions, but not being effective enough to make real career. So, but other planet that is better positioned takes the reins then.
they have the talent, but it doesn't manifest in this lifetime in a material way, more in like enjoy privately way.
Yes, you can work on something your entire life, but actually not to be your career, right? You can love to play the guitar, music, or write poetry, or even do some mechanical work, but still not to be your profession.
Thank you. I can't wait for this course. I'll try to be there as well. So thank you,
It's
everyone.
coming.
Join us. Very, very reasonable price, like $100 if you want to join the course. For the 2-day event, kind of, and keep the recording forever after that. And yeah, so thank you, Trifon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. May you be blessed this month.